Hi, just a quick disclaimer about my YouTube channel, uh, because it's also the one associated with my Gmail. There are a couple videos on there. You can watch them if you want. I don't see, well, two of them are actually for our class, but I'll put them into the video lecture when I talk about them. But there's one called The Bird. That I edited the movie The Maltese Falcon in Premiere Pro to seem like it was just a movie about people who didn't know what a bird was. I just wanted to warn you, I guess, in case you watched it or thought that you had to watch all the videos on the channel. I'll just link to the ones that you have to watch. That being said, if you want to watch The Bird, you can. It has 6 views. Okay, I'll get to the video lecture now. Hello! Welcome to the first of at least 15 video lectures. This is me, Chelsea Parker, your instructor. This is what I look like. I should tell you that you can call me Chelsea or Ms. Parker. I'm not a professor, so don't call me Professor Parker, and do not call me Mrs. Parker. Nothing makes me angrier or more annoyed than that. Alright, so today I'm just going to talk about the basics, what is rhetoric, and then I'm going to talk about the rhetorical situation and walk through an example and sort of map out what the rhetorical situation is, so that we can get a better understanding of the concepts. Alright, so first, what is rhetoric? Rhetoric is any communication to achieve a specific purpose with a specific audience. So it's the very intentional use of language. It's tailoring what you say to your audience and the context in which you say it to achieve a specific purpose. This purpose can be to get the audience to take some sort of actual action, or it can also just be the purpose of simply persuading your audience that you are right about something and to take your view on that thing. So what is the rhetorical situation? It's quite a few elements that come together and influence your rhetorical decision-making or the rhetorical decision-making of someone else and shape the message. So the first part of the rhetorical situation is the rhetorical opportunity, which is the issue, problem, or situation that motivates the use of language to stimulate change. So that can be visual, written, or spoken language. And the rhetorical opportunity is essentially what you're responding to, the thing that prompted you to use rhetoric and to write or speak. Context is the set of relationships, circumstances, settings, and institutions at play in the situation. Everything exists in a context. You wouldn't probably be watching a video of me telling you about this outside of the context of the classroom. Or in the context of the classroom, I have the authority to tell you what to do, but if I walked up to you on the street and asked you to participate in a discussion or tell me about a time that you used language to influence someone, it wouldn't be an appropriate form of rhetoric in that context. Then you have the writer or speaker. So this is the person who uses language to bring about change in an audience. So this is the person who's delivering the message. You have the purpose, in a broad sense, which is just any reason for a communication, but we want to push beyond a simple purpose to a rhetorical purpose. So a rhetorical purpose is this specific change the writer or speaker wants to accomplish through the use of language. And then audience are just the people who receive and interpret the message of a communication. So that's audience in a broad sense. But what we want to focus on here is what we want to focus on here is the rhetorical audience, meaning the specific audience most capable of being changed by a message or of bringing about change. So this is who you want to craft your message to, who you want to shape the argument and the rhetoric for. And then the message is the main point of information shaped to influence an audience. And then all of this is the rhetorical situation. Another important thing is evaluating any rhetorical situation as a fitting response. So this is a fitting response is a communication whose tone, content, and delivery are carefully constructed to connect to the interests of a specific audience. So like a fitting response will meet the circumstances of the rhetorical situation. So now we're going to practice or walk through an example to sort of practice using these concepts. I'm going to play a clip of the audio with subtitles from Christian Bale's on-set tantrum when he was filming the movie Terminator, or it's some installment in the Terminator franchise. And then I'll walk through the rhetorical situation with it.
Kick your fucking ass! I want you off the fucking set, you prick!
I'm sorry.
No, don't just be sorry. Think for one fucking second. The fuck are you doing? Are you professional or not?
Yes, I am.
Do I fucking walk around and rip down? No, shut the fuck up, Bruce. Do I want? No! No! Don't shut me up.
I'm not shutting you up.
Am I gonna walk around and rip your fucking lights down in the middle of a scene? Then why the fuck are you walking right through? Like this in the background. What the fuck is it with you? Fuck's sake, man, you're amateur. Well, somebody should be fucking watching and keeping an eye on him.
Fair enough.
This is the second time that he doesn't give a fuck about what is going on in front of the camera. All right? I'm trying to fucking do a scene here and I'm going, why the fuck is Shane walking in there? What is he doing there? Do you understand my mind is not in the scene if you're doing that?
I absolutely apologize. I'm sorry. I did not mean anything by it.
Stay off the fucking set, man. For fuck's sake.
So the rhetorical opportunity, remember that's the issue, problem, or situation that motivates the use of language to stimulate change. In this case, the rhetorical opportunity was that a production assistant walked through the set while Christian Bale was filming a scene. Context, which remember is the set of relationships, circumstances, settings, and institutions at play in this situation. They were on a film set. And a really key point is that Christian Bale, is that Christian Bale is a method actor. Method acting, if you don't know, is like, the idea is that you become the role that you're playing so as to get a better acting performance. But what it actually is just when like, it's always like white guys who are assholes anyways. So, like, method acting is just when shitty white dudes act shitty and then hide behind art, usually at the detriment of other people. The rhetorical purpose, remember that's the specific change you want to accomplish through the use of language. He wants the production assistant to not walk through the set again and perhaps to understand that he is an amateur. We know that the speaker, meaning the person using language to bring about change in the audience, is Christian Bale. And then we know the rhetorical audience, so that's the specific audience that's capable of being changed by a message or of doing something like bringing about change, and that's the production assistant. The message, so that's the main point of information, shaped to influence the audience, is you are all amateurs, and it's not okay to walk through the set. So now to sort of emphasize why each element matters in shaping the message, I'm going to play you some clips from a radio interview that Christian Bale did where he called into this radio station and apologized for his rant. So I'll play that now and then we'll walk through it and see how the language and tone changed based on the changed elements of the rhetorical situation.
The thing that I really want to stress is I have no confusion whatsoever I was out of order beyond belief. I was way out of order. I acted like a punk. I regret that. And there is nobody that has heard that tape that is hit harder by it than me.
Aww.
So I make no excuses for it. It is inexcusable. And I hope that that is absolutely clear, you know? And on the day that all of this happened, the scene that we were doing, I was trying to show a little of that in the blood craziness. And you know what? It went very wrong. And for reasons that myself and Shane, the DP, and every crew member who was in that hangar at Kirtland Air Force Base that day, they know the reasons. I got annoyed, and then what happened, I made it ugly. And that was awful of me. I took it way too far, and I completely mixed up fact and fiction. I'm half John Connor, I'm half Christian there, and we've all heard exactly what that says.
You know, Christian.
So here the rhetorical opportunity is that the audio of Christian Bale's rant has leaked and he looks like an asshole, and him looking like an asshole will make people not want to see his movie. So the context, remember, the audio leaked, the movie is coming out soon, and he's calling into a radio station that has covered the story and sort of made fun of him for it. The rhetorical purpose is, well, the stated purpose is to apologize, but if you listen more closely or like analyze it more closely, it seems that the actual purpose is to make sure people go see the movie, right? Because he's talking on and on about all these other people worked hard on it. Don't punish them by not going to see the movie just because I suck. And then the speaker is again Christian Bale. The rhetorical audience. The audience in a broad sense are the listeners of the show. In a more specific sense, the rhetorical audience are the people who would maybe have seen the movie otherwise and are still open to seeing the movie should Christian Bale apologize sincerely. The message is sort of like, my bad, I was being a dick for artistic reasons, right? He says, I'm half John Connor, I'm half Christian there. And then, please go see my movie anyways. So how does changing some of the elements change the whole situation? Especially the language choices, right? And it shapes the message. He's not yelling anymore. He's apologizing instead of blaming the production assistant's amateurishness for his outburst. He appeals to the audience by saying that he shares their reaction to it, and in fact, nobody was more affected by it than he was. Right? He says he shares the audience's disgust with his behavior and agrees that it was horrible. He's aligning himself with the people he's apologizing to, and his tone and his language are quite different because his purpose, his audience, the context, his message, everything, well, I guess some of the context is still the same, but like almost everything has changed, even though it's still Christian Bale, and the things he says are quite different in response to those changes in the rhetorical situation. Right, and he's being nice to his rhetorical audience because he wants something from them, right? He wants them to still go see his movie. So we can see why knowing the elements of the rhetorical situation and identifying them in both the things we read and when we write, knowing who we're writing to, why we're writing, the context, all these things, is really important in both understanding how a message has been shaped and also in how we shape the messages that we put out in our writing or otherwise. So that's it for this one. Next will be the rhetorical appeals, ethos, pathos, logos, and then we'll probably get into multimedia stuff. Have a great day.